At the end of October 2023, I woke up almost bankrupt. Not because I had too little work, but because I spent far too much time on YouTube. All the tutorial videos took a lot of time, but the revenue was too small to cover all the costs, and little by little the paint shop died. My paint guns had issues, and in the end there came a point where there wasn't enough money to buy materials for further projects. With $420 left over, my task was to find a way out of the crisis, or to leave the paint shop and YouTube behind to go in a completely different direction. I took a deep breath in the woods near the shop to think about everything, so I decided to use the last $420 to buy new spray guns and materials as cheaply as possible to save the shop bit by bit with orders. Unfortunately, I had to part with the YouTube videos because there wasn't enough time to do both things. But then the unbelievable happened. After I told you about the problem in a video, many of you not only wrote fantastically nice comments, but also donated money. But today it's all about how I work with little money and simple spray guns to become a custom painter again.
Yeah, let's talk about what divides the bull poop from a usable spray gun. Due to my situation, I have to find the cheapest spray gun possible. I have only $420 left to save the E2E paint shop, and I don't have to buy only spray guns. So my maximum budget for a spray gun can be $50 because I need two of them. One for the clear coat and one for the color. Never mix them or you run in trouble and you will end in drama. And maybe you are a beginner, so that can be also very good information for you. So sharpen your ears and I'll tell you what my facts, minimum facts for a usable spray gun. And yeah, you can see my graphic, and the first point on the graphic is an aluminum cup. I bought my aluminum cups a decade ago in 2012, now it's 2023. They last long and much longer than these plastic cups, but let's face it, let's face reality. For $50 it's absolutely impossible to find a spray gun with an aluminum cup, so no aluminum cup for me. But you can work also with plastic, of course. You have to change it more often, so if you can, spend more money in aluminum. If not, buy a plastic cup. Next point on my list is a stainless needle set. Nozzle and needle stainless with brass fittings. That's an absolutely must, because when the needle stuck in the spray gun during spraying, you end in a nightmare. You end in absolutely horrible trouble, in drama, tears in your eyes and all these things. You have to start from scratch, and yeah, that can be horror. So a stainless steel needle with brass fittings. And some of these cheap spray guns have these stainless needles, so be careful what you buy. The next one is microatomization. That's also very important if you do fine art work or if you do special colors like pearls, like these flip-flops. Microatomization is a must if you do these special colors. And yeah, what's also very important for me is the cheater valve. I'm a pro and I use it every time. Maybe you are a beginner, so you shouldn't use it, but in half a year or a year you will use it as well. So think about the future and buy a spray gun with a cheater valve. And the absolutely must for me on this list is the fan control in the back. I'm a lefty and I show you later that it's an absolutely horrible nightmare when the fan control is on the side. These spray guns are absolutely unusable for me, and not only for me, also if you are a right-handed person it can get you trouble. So if you buy a spray gun, make sure you have the fan control in the back. Yeah, these are my points, and now let's try to find a spray gun. Yeah, these are the spray guns I bought from the last $420 left to save the E2E paint shop. I bought them last week before I launched the video. YouTube broke me, and then I saw your comments, and that's so great. All your comments, and a lot of you spent money for me to go on with YouTube, and I don't know what I should say. I'm absolutely thankful, and some of you suggested I should use Patreon as well for a little support, and that's what I did. So if you want to support me, find the link underneath the video, maybe here. And yeah, I bought these spray guns. They are not sponsored by any means. I wish it would be. I paid them for the full price on Amazon. That's a fact, but I like to show you them. Maybe you're a beginner, you don't have much money. or you like to do it as a hobby. So let me tell you, well, these are maybe the kings of the cheap spray guns. And the spray guns come with a full set of parts needed to start spray painting. I checked them before. Now they can't get opened. So let's check it out. Yeah, they have a plastic cup. Aluminum cups not possible in this price range. They come for $69.99, current price $69.99 on Amazon. That's what I paid. But the plastic cup is black, and that's very good because it's future proof. If you use UV painting or UV clear coats, you can use these black cups because you must have black cups with these UV colors. And the spray gun looks also very cool. Black anodized and full metal gun. All parts are metal. And there are also an accessory kit. Let's check this out. Yeah, some wrenches and also a nipple, so filter as well. All you need to start spray painting. The spray gun is super heavy, 404.2 grams, because all the major parts are milled aluminum, no cheap plastic parts or molded aluminum. Perfect quality for this price range. Let's check the outside parts. All these knobs are milled aluminum, super heavy, but they turn super smooth. Perfect fitting and absolutely classy for this price range. I've never seen this in the price range. Now let's check the nozzle cap and the nozzle itself. As mentioned before, it's stainless steel, and here you can see what I mean with microatomization. There are different holes in the nozzle cap, also in the nozzle itself. Check this out. Can you see the holes in the middle? Also more than one hole on the spike, 2 holes per spike. And that guarantees a microatomization. Here you can see also different holes around the nozzle, and that's needed for all these cool colors like pearls. If you want to do these shifting colors, then you need the microatomization like on this spray gun. Let me compare the Storm to other spray guns. This is a super expensive SATA mini jet. This is a super cheap spray gun from Amazon, $12. And what they have in common is the fan control on the side. This one has the fan control on the back, as mentioned before. And now let me show you the issue. When I use this spray gun as a lefty, I have it like this. And what can happen is that I turn the fan with my finger when using the spray gun, and that can end in a nightmare when I twist the fan during spraying. And it can't happen when the fan is on the back. You will never touch it. Yeah, you can maybe touch the needle control, but you can't twist it in this position. And that's why I think the fan control in the back is the much better solution, and that is what you should buy. Let's compare the needles of the SATA mini jet and the Storm. With the SATA mini jet, I ruined some of my paint jobs because the needle stuck in the spray gun. As you can see, it has a brass fitting clamped on the needle. The needle is stainless, but not the fitting. And what happened is it's stuck in the spray gun itself. It can't move, and I had a lot of blobs, and it was a nightmare. And that's why I don't use the spray gun anymore. Now let's check the Storm. And it has a complete stainless steel needle. No fitting on the needle. It's perfect. And yeah, I hope it works much better than the much more expensive SATA mini jet. So a plus for the Storm. Before we can fill in color, we have to mount the quick release nipple on the back, and the Storm comes with an American US standard quick release nipple. If you are not from the US, you have to buy an extra nipple. I'm from Europe, so I have to use this one. I will do an extra video about nipple sizes so you can avoid the nipple gate. But in my case, I use the European standard 1/4 inch. And the spray gun comes with a rubber seal. This one, please don't use these rubber seals. They will shrink over time and the nipple will leak. So buy yourself a cheap Teflon tape like this and use this instead. Yeah, nearly done. Now we have to dial in the pressure with a pressure gauge. I bought also these pressure gauges, and if you are a beginner, these are a must. and I'll show you how to use them, because if you have the wrong pressure, you can run in trouble, of course. Okay, full guide for beginners. If you are a beginner, you can mount the pressure gauge direct under the spray gun without a quick release. I use a quick release in between because I don't like to spray with the pressure gauge mounted. I do bike frame, and it sucks when you have a pressure gauge underneath the spray gun and you have to spray in the triangle. So I dismounted during spraying, but what you have to do is you have to set up the correct pressure, and I'll show you how to do it. So use a pressure gauge with a quick release on top and a nipple on the bottom. Mount it underneath the spray gun like this. Cheater valve full open. Also the pressure gauge full open. Like so. And now mount the air hose. Like so. And now go to your compressor. My compressor is in the back, but the pressure gauge for the compressor is here. So I can dial on the pressure here on my pressure gauge on this one. And now read the pressure gauge on your spray gun, push the trigger, and then dial in the pressure on the pressure gauge on the compressor. In this case, you have to dial it round about 1.8 to 2 bar, and that's what I'm doing now. So 1.8 to 2 bar on the pressure gauge on the spray gun. Okay, and make sure this is full open. Also the cheater valve is full open. If not, you have not the correct pressure in the spray gun. And now you can release the pressure gauge, and you can mount the air hose direct underneath the spray gun. And what it says here is 4 bar, but I lose a lot of pressure in my air hose. It's more than 5 meters long, so I lose a lot of pressure in the hose. But at the end of the hose, the pressure is 2 bar, okay? 4 bar on the compressor, 2 bar on the hose, in the airbrush or spray gun, and that's what I need, and that's how you dial in the pressure. Now we are done, and we can fill in color and change to the paint booth or your garage or wherever you like to paint. Let's face it, currently I'm not in a good mental condition. I deleted the footage from the paint booth instead of saving it to my hard drive, so I have to tell you what I did. I applied an epoxy carbon primer on both of the frames with the 1.0 needle nozzle combination, and this spray gun is by far not made for primers, so I like to give you some hard facts if you like to buy a spray gun and what's recommended and what I can recommend. So for primers, a needle nozzle combination of 1.4 to 1.8 is recommended. So yeah, as you can see, I used a much smaller needle nozzle combination. It is possible, but I added 20% of thinner. The primer was super thin, so I had to be careful. And if you don't be careful, you can get runs on the frame very easy. Paint runs, primer runs in this case. And yeah, if you can run only these small spray guns, you can use the 1.0 for primer. But yeah, you have to be careful, and you have to add thinner to the primer. And I bought 2 spray guns, 1.0 and 0.8, and these are made, one for the clear coat and one for the base coat as mentioned before. So on our list, 1.0 to 1.2 is made for clear coat. It's also available in smaller spray guns, these mini guns. And for the base coat, I'm using 0.8 to 1.0. I'm talking about frame painting, of course, because I do mainly frame painting. And these are the 3 needle nozzle combinations you need if you want to go professional. 1 spray gun for primer, 1 for the clear coat, and 1 for the base coat. And please don't mix the clear coat and the primer spray gun, even if it has the same needle nozzle combination. You will run in bad trouble. I spent a lot of time in cleaning the spray gun, and I had to be very careful. But I know what I'm doing. I have 20 years of experience, and I know what can happen and how hard it can be. So make sure you have 3 spray guns, or you have to be very careful cleaning the spray gun. So what I have to do now is the light sanding 800 grit, as I did in my videos before, but I don't show you the sanding because this video is about the spray guns. In the next step, I use the 0.8 for a base coat, and I promise I will show you also paint booth footage.
What I'm doing here is mixing the base color. It's an automotive paint system, and I can mix it with the scale and the software. I decided not to show you the color and the software because it's not sponsored. And yeah, I have a color code. It's from a BMW, and I can search it in the software, and then I have to mix these toners. Super simple, and I can repeat it every time I need.
And when your spray gun comes brand new from factory, you have to flip it first. No, you don't have to flip it, but you have to flush it because there can be grease inside the spray gun from the production and grease in color and in the drama. That's what we don't want. So what I have to do is I have to add some thinner, some gun cleaner or some solvents, whatever you have, what can remove grease. Put it in the spray gun. Put on the lid, that's very important if you don't want to get wet. And then we have to put on the air hose. And what you have to do now is use your 2 fingers and block the nozzle cap with your fingers and then push the trigger. And what happens is the air flows back into the spray gun, into the cup. Let's check this without a lid. And you can see the bubbles. Yeah, that is what happened. That's what you're doing first, 1 or 2 times. And then spray all the thinner through the spray gun and you're ready for color. And what you can also do is dial in the spray gun, the fan control. That is what I'm doing when I'm flushing with thinner or any gun cleaner. As every time, safety first, don't forget to put on your spray mask. And yes, I have a beard, I know that I have a beard, and I know that I shouldn't wear this spray mask, but I do it anyways. Yeah, not bad for a cheap spray gun. You can't compare it to a super expensive pro spray gun, of course, but the coating is perfect, micro-atomization works. That's a pearl color, and yeah, it's pro style in my opinion, good enough for me, good enough to do client work. But there are 2 things which bother me on the spray gun. The first one is the spring of the trigger is a bit hard for my taste. I have to check this later. Maybe I can change the spring in the spray gun to another one. And the second one, compared to my huge shovel hands, check my hand sides, they are huge. The trigger is a bit uncomfortable. Check this, my middle finger is in this corner and I can't use 2 fingers, or I have to do the middle finger here on the bottom of the trigger. That's not so comfortable, but if you have smaller hands than me, it's perfect. Some people have shovel heads, I have shovel hands, and I have to go along with it. Next step is the clear coat, so I change again to the 1.0 needle nozzle combination. So again,
needle nozzle combination 1.0 are loaded a 2-component high solid clear coat in the spray gun, and I will show you only the first seconds because when my camera died because of dust I'm pooped, and the lifespan of a digital camera and a paint booth can be compared to the lifespan of a poop fly. So yeah, let's do it. Oh. Yeah, what can I say? Of course you can spray clear coat with the Intertool Storm, but compared to an Iwata it's nothing. There's night, there's day, and then there's heaven. Iwata is heaven, but currently that's my situation. But there are also good news. I have to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. A lot of you supported me, not only with nice comments, also with money, which is absolutely great. And the good news is I get this money in the near future. It takes maybe 4 weeks. And then I get half the money you spend, half the money keeps YouTube. That's the sad reality. But from the other half, I will buy spare parts for the Iwata and also some cool stuff for the shop. And in the meantime, I will do some jobs with the Intertool Storm, these 2 spray guns. I can recommend them if you are a beginner or if you don't want to invest so much money. And yeah, I have to face it. I'm a one-man show in a one-man paint shop, and that has consequences. I will do some more client work in the near future because in winter time there are a lot of clients who like to get their bikes painted, and maybe a little bit less videos time, maybe not every week, maybe every 2 weeks, because that's what I really like, and I like to stand in front of a camera to show you how cool custom painting can be. And yeah, if you like that as well, you can support me on Patreon, and hopefully that brings me in the future not only with client work and also on YouTube, because I like to see you as often as possible. Thank you for watching. I have to work, and then see you in the next one.